Hello and welcome to the daily English news program on Azərbaycan Television with the most important events of the day. I'm your host, İlham. President İlham signed an executive order on additional measures to continue the reconstruction works of highways in Binagadi district of Baku City. According to the executive order, 5,300,000 manats were allocated to the Azərbaycan Avtomobil Yolları State Agency to continue the reconstruction works of highways in Biləcəri, Binagadi, Rasulzade, Xocasən and 28 May settlements of Binagadi district. October 18th is the day of restoration of state independence of Azerbaijan. Against the backdrop of new trends reigned in the world political arena, in the end of the 20th century, the Soviet Union disappeared from the map of the world. Thanks to the favorable historical conditions that arose as a result of the collapse of the USSR and the desire of the people for freedom, the struggle for independence, Azerbaijan raised the flag of independence for the second time in a century. In the 21st century, as a result of the 44-day patriotic war, the territorial integrity of the country was restored. Today, independent Azerbaijan, under the leadership of President İlham Aliyev, has high authority and makes itself known throughout the world. It should be noted that since 2021, October 18th is celebrated in our country as a day of the restoration of independence.
On October 18, 1991, the Supreme Council of Azerbaijan adopted the Constitutional Act on State Independence. However, the undeclared war of Armenia against Azerbaijan led to the occupation of 20% of our lands. Our people have been subjected to ethnic cleansing on their own historic lands. People appealed to the great leader Heydar Aliyev for help in those difficult days. Upon his return to political power, Azerbaijan entered a period of development and progress. A new stage of the historical mission began, the essence of which was to strengthen the foundations of independence. At the ceremony of presenting the Shohrad Order to figures of literature, culture, art, science and sports on August 21st, 1998, national leader Heydar Aliyev said the words that became historic.
Biz azadıq, biz müstəqilik, biz sərbəstdik.
We are free, independent. We don't depend on anyone. We own our destiny.
Mənim üçün bunu bilin, mən sizə deyirəm, öz həyatımdan, öz canımdan artıq Azərbaycanın müstəqilliyini qorumaq, onu saxlamaq, onu əbədi etmək.
Now we're proud to turn the pages of the history of our independence, rich in events full of success. Thus, in the 20th year of its independence, Azerbaijan was already elected a non-permanent member of the UN Security Council, and the foreign policy of our country was aimed at further strengthening the foundations of independence and protecting national interests. Thanks to the opportunities created by independence, Azerbaijan has embarked on a path of rapid economic development. The energy policy initiated by our country has turned Azerbaijan into the most important factor of energy security. The Baku-Tbilisi-Kars railway was launched. Azerbaijan became an important link in the international transport corridors. North, South and East-West launched 3 satellites into orbit, becoming an active member of the Space Club. Amid all this, our greatest success was the liberation of our lands from occupation. The 44-day patriotic war itself is an attribute of our independence because it ended with a brilliant victory. We have achieved our historical goals and ensured the territorial integrity of Azerbaijan.
Biz bugün xalqımızın və dövlətimizin yeni tarixini yazırıq.
Today we are writing a new history of our people and state, a glorious history. We are restoring historical justice today because the land of Karabakh is our ancient historical land, said President İlham Aliyev.
Tarixi torpağımızdır.
Bugün bütün dünya görür ki Qarabağ Azərbaycandır. Qarabağ bizimdir, Qarabağ Azərbaycandır.
First Vice President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Mehriban Aliyeva, made a post on her official Instagram page on October 18th, the restoration of Independence Day. October 18th also marks the day we restored our southern border, the glorious history when Xudaferin, our moral value, which is an integral part of our history, culture and homeland, was liberated from occupation. 2 years ago, our brave soldiers proudly hoisted the Azerbaijani flag and reported the liberation of Xudaferin Bridge to the Commander-in-Chief.
Shells and bullets scatter around, military uniforms belonging to the invaders, trenches, dams. Everywhere bears the trace of war. The hills, which are not very high, are of great strategic importance. Therefore, the invaders built a defense barrier along the Aras River from Sultan Ali to the city of Jabrayil in this direction. The plain area of about 10 kilometers was kept under control from here. This was created as a serious obstacle for the advancement of military equipment and manpower. Sultan Ali is the second largest village of Jabrayil, and it's located in a strategic position. Sultan Ali has been invaded throughout history, but there was an unchanging reality. The traces of the invaders have been permanently erased from here, and Sultan Ali is still there. This time, history repeated itself. Since 2 years ago, we read about it in books, saw its images in chronicles and pictures. Now we are going to Xudaferin, towards Xudaferin, which has great spiritual value for a whole nation. Destroyed villages on our right, Khan Aras on our left. On the edge of Aras, our heroic border guards protect the borders of the motherland. 2 years ago, October 18 was written on the stone memory of the bridge for the freedom. The next successful operation of our border guards was Xudaferin.
Muhterem Cenab Prezident, Cenab Ali Başkomandan, emrinize uygun olarak məruz edirəm ki, Xudaferin körpüsü ve ərazisi işğaldan azad edilmiştir. Hal-hazırda Azərbaycan bayrağı burada dalgalanmaktadır. Yaşasın Azərbaycan, yaşasın Ali Başkomandan, Qarabağ Azərbaycandır.
By means of this, after 27 years, control of the southern borders was restored. Xudaferin took the burden of Karabakh off its shoulders. The most beautiful example of Azerbaijan architecture, the most unique cultural monument of our people. Xudaferin is also the seal of love for both sides.
Instances of chaos and corruption became more frequent in the Armenian army. In the course of investigative and operational checks, facts of appropriation of state property, fraud and corruption were discovered. As a result of the investigation, ex-Minister of Defense Ministry David Tanayan, former Chief of the General Staff of the Armed Forces Artak Davityan, and 3 other generals were found guilty as suspects. Since the preliminary investigative measures have been completed, their trial has begun. David Tanayan's lawyer, Sergei Avatinyan, noted that the steps taken against the former minister are nothing but political persecution, and there are no grounds for accusation. The Armenian authorities, shifting the blame for the results of the lost war onto others, are trying to deceive the society. It should be noted that after the 44-day war, 22 generals were dismissed from the Armenian armed forces, including 4 who were put on the wanted list by Interpol. Azal is introducing a global real-time aircraft flight surveillance system using Ariane satellite-based system. President of Azal Jahangir Askarov said that the innovation will enable full use of the advantages of innovative technologies. The introduction of this system is especially important, considering the twofold increase in the number of overflights serviced by Azan-S within the airspace of Azerbaijan. The implementation of this system will enable Azan-S to improve the economic efficiency and environmental impact of routes in the airspace of Azerbaijan Republic. The system will allow to improve the economic efficiency and environmental impact of routes in the airspace of Azerbaijan and to plan and use more optimal routes, reducing fuel consumption, said Don Toma, President and CEO of Ariane. Then the site signed an agreement on the implementation of this system. SIMA, created by Azan Telecom under the Ministry of Digital Development and Transport, has improved the integration of the new generation digital signature into the Asan Login Unified Access System. Users will download the SIMA mobile application, register and obtain a digital signature to access the Asan Login system via mobile devices. This innovation gives the citizen access to 90 portals and systems with the help of Asan Login. That was all for today. Thank you for being with us and see you next time.